Hello everyone, Counterspell Hater here, back with another EDH guide. Before we get into today's video, I'd like it if you guys would please like and subscribe. Thank you to the 39 of you who are currently subscribed, and you can be one of those people if you just click the subscribe button or tap it, whatever, and hit like while you're at it. Comment on this video and on my other videos. I like feedback from you guys, shows me you care and that you're willing to support this channel. And if you're the first one to comment on this video, then you can make an EDH request and maybe even a specific style for that request. So like Ramos, Changeling, for example, just type that in. And I will deliver by dedicating future episode 2 site request as soon as I can. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, that way you don't miss another video of mine, anything coming up on this channel, and share this video along with other videos found on my channel with other people. With that said, let's get into this video. Well, this EDH guide, I should say. There we go. So we're continuing with Streets of New Capena with Kamiz, Obscura Oculus. So this is a conceive style deck built around conceive, but also mostly attacking. So we have a lot of combat damage triggers that can help us out. We don't have the discard triggers that would benefit us. I decided to build differently from what the deck would have been built. So that means no, we do not have Oscar Rubbish the Reclaimer in here. But if you do want to see that, check out my previous video. You really should. And give a like while you're at it and subscribe. So this can make something unblockable whenever we attack and have it conceive, so it gets bigger and we draw a card and then we have to discard a card. So we've got a whole bunch of combat triggers and even maybe some proliferate stuff at the end. So let's get into it with Nightveil Spectre and Thief of Sanity. Both cards will lose you friends. Not that I know that it will, but like, it's blue-black. What do you expect? They're controlled, they're annoying. Basically, they both do the same thing, except Thief of Sanity does what Nightveil Spectre does, but way better when it deals combat damage, because it gives you a lot more options. Call of the Nightwing to create some tokens. Phage the Untouchable is just a win condition in this deck. I mean, come on. Raving Dead, excuse me. And Virtus the Veiled to just start having life totals and take some people out real quick. Rogue's Gloves for drawing cards. Bloodforge Battleaxe could steal the game out of nowhere, or could just outright kill someone, because you figure you keep shooting just one creature out with all these Bloodforge Battleaxe copies, and soon before you know it, it's unblockable. And then you swing once and suddenly someone's dead. And you can get a lot of these pretty fast just by attaching them to one creature and just making it unblockable with your commander. Horde Robber for mana issues that we may have, since we're in colors that depend on ramping with artifacts. Quietus Spike, again losing half life and giving Death Touch. Fiend of the Shadows, basically doing the same thing as Thief of the Sandy and Nightveil Spectre. Can also regenerate itself at the cost of a human on our board state. Scythe Spectre can really hit life totals hard, depending on what our opponents discard when it deals combat damage. Master of Predicaments, definitely would recommend this, because you can guarantee that this thing deals combat damage thanks to your commander. And I mean, it's kind of a 50-50 chance, but your opponent guessing wrong could result in you casting something for free. So that could be something like an Augury Adept, or something even more exciting like a Necropolis Regent. Speaking of which, Augury Adept can help us gain life. Chasm Skulker, great creature in this deck. Would definitely recommend you put this in this type of deck since it likes to draw cards. And maybe even make this unblockable and conceive with it. That way, right before damage, it gets even bigger. And then when it leaves, of course, well, when it dies, I should say, it can create you a whole bunch of 1/1s. Guildpact Informant is in here to proliferate. Dazzling Sphinx is so, like I've said in past videos, we'd like to be prepared for all instances of most instances that we may be going up against. So by putting Dazzling Sphinx in here, we're putting ourselves against like instant and sorcery players, and we're by having this in here, that matchup is going to go pretty well for us, since they're going to have, if they have a lot of instants and or sorceries, well, Dazzling Sphinx is going to help us benefit a lot from their deck, and they will benefit less from their own deck. You get what I'm saying? And it's all seeing another win condition. Necropolis Regent is big because, unblockable creatures each and every time you attack during combat, not to mention you give something else double strike if you're attacking with more than one. And say that's like a 6/6 that you're attacking with, and it goes through, first of all, first strike damage, that turns it into a 12/12, then regular damage turns it into a 24 power and toughness creature because of how Necropolis Regent works. I think that's how it works. Let me know in the comments if that creature would end up being an 18/18 or a 24/24. Sturmgeist, since we're drawing cards, obvious. Spawning Kraken can make us an army, and kind of allow us to stay back and maybe even steal the game out of nowhere with a whole bunch of 9/9s, thanks to making them unblockable, of course. Constable of the Realm is great because as we attack with it and make it conceive with our commander, it'll exile more and more stuff, and that's less stuff our opponent is able to use against us, therefore ensuring our victory until, of course, that thing leaves the battlefield. Elite Scale Guard allows us to get in for even more damage without the assistance of our commander's attack trigger, making something unblockable. And so on top of that, we're not able to tap down stuff. So this encourages us to conceive with multiple creatures, not just one. Kind of spread out the counters. Bastard's Lieutenant, this is kind of preparing us more for a board wipe and also like creature removal. So we have a board when we get wiped. Sword of Feast and Famine, protection from black and from green. This allows us to once again spread out the conceive triggers and combat and other triggers from our commander. It kind of forces us to, because protection from black and from green, our commander is black, so is in the color black. So therefore we're kind of forced to not pick the creature that is equipped with Sword of Feast and Famine. But at the same time, being able to untap your lands, especially in types of decks that don't ramp via green sources, this is very ideal. So, Sword of Truth and Justice. Sword of Truth and Justice. Spoke like Chance there for a moment. Sword of Truth and Justice for proliferation and putting more puzzle counters on other creatures. Sword of War and Peace to punish other players who are drawing cards that are not us, and to reward us for gain by giving us life for how many cards we do have in our hand. Sword of Hours can end up doubling up the number of puzzle counters on a creature we control. Goldvein Pick for mana. Yuan Tide Malison The venturing into the dungeon can definitely help us a lot because like we can venture into dungeons like the dungeon of Mad Mage, which its end effect can really pay off. So being able to attack with this and while ensuring that it's unblocked, but still attacking with multiple creatures in a turn is nice because we still are able to get the payout from the dungeon that we venture into. Silent Blade Oni, just stealing us more creatures so that possibly, or like other really good stuff, so that's like more opportunities to conceive with other creatures and other combat triggers to trigger off on our side of the board state, not theirs. Speaking of board states, Blade Griff Prototype can end up just kind of gnawing away at board states, not ours. Just so you know. Whisper Steel Dagger is for aristocrat players, Golgari players, self-mill players, people who are rather creature heavy in their deck. By playing this, we are prepared for those types of decks. So, and we're able to utilize their graveyard. Wand of Orcus can really help us against like army decks because it can create us an army of our own. And with us conceiving each time, we'll get more and more zombies than what we did last time when we dealt combat damage with the equipped creature. And then when we untap, obviously, I mean, we're able to swing a whole bunch of zombies, and those zombies are going to have death touch thanks to the wand. Elbrez, the Binding Blade, and Withengar Unbound. This is the easiest flip with Withengar Unbound. Period. I mean, with you being able to recast your commander from the command zone, that is like a reliable source of that. No, that not a reliable source. That is like, this is, I guess it would be a reliable source of being able to flip Elbrus into Withengar. I mean, 13/13 Flying, Intimidate, Trample from a 7-mana equipment. Like you swing this onto a creature, it's pretty much over from there. The Ozlith to keep counters in case we lose them on creatures. Simic Manipulator, conceiving with this can end up having a big payout because we can end up stealing rather big creatures or valuable ones. Tenured Inkcaster, help us drain our opponents and gain life, so help us stay in the game. Talisa, Fang of Silver Quill. This can create even more of an army than Basri's Lieutenant can, thanks to its death trigger. Animation module can also create us an army. Sage of Hours for extra turns. Definitely would recommend this in the deck since it'd be pretty easy to conceive with this. And I mean, while you're conceiving with it, it's unblockable thanks to your commander as well. So this is going to be pretty safe and you're going to be able to attack with this a lot. And every like 5 or so turns, you're getting an extra turn. And if you're able to proliferate, well, so be it. Nadir Kraken can also create an army of tentacles and make itself really big. Talarian Kraken can tap down stuff right before our opponents are able to block, since we're drawing cards when we conceive. Thought Reflection to double up on card draw. Ominous Seas to make 8/8s. Crystalline Crawler is definitely great in this deck. Would recommend it, like I have in some of the past few decks you've seen, because I mean, remove a plus counter to get mana. I mean, sign me up. And this deck, this will be entering in with like 3 plus counters, maybe even 4 if you have like an artifact they can give you, or like a land like Command Tower, or like Commander Sphere, not Commander Sphere, Manolith, or something like that to give you 1 mana vein 1 color. So then you can get like 4 plus counters put onto Crystalline Crawler. I mean, conceiving on top of the fact that you are able to proliferate very well with this deck, like that's free mana for you, and you don't even have to tap to use it, and you can tap this on its own to put a plus counter on it. Psychosis Crawler for when we draw cards. We can drain our opponents, and because, well, we're drawing cards. Teferi, Ageless Insight, double up on card draw, except for the first one we draw and on each of our draw steps. And then we have Inexorable Tide, which would go in combination really well with Crystalline Caller. Like I've shown with the past few decks, I mean, casting spells to proliferate and then using Crystalline Crawler to produce that mana, that's a pretty good combo there. Surprised this wouldn't have been used in maybe some form of the standard. If you want to see it used, though, all you have to do is let me know, and I can deliver. I'll promise I will deliver in full. So if you want MTG Arena videos, that might be an idea to request. I will also take that request if you guys absolutely want it. Karn's Bastion, for proliferation and isolated Watchtower, since we're not green, so we're not ramping that much, excuse me. And then 16 basic swamps, 16 basic plains, and 16 basic islands. And with that, at the end of this commander guide starring Kamiz, Obscura, Oculus. So that is it. Please like and subscribe. Thank you to the 39 of you, or 40 or more, who are currently subscribed. I mean, we're one away, and I'd like to keep going. So please click subscribe to be one of those people who are dedicating themselves to the channel, and like while you're at it. And also comment, like I said, EDH request or Magic the Gathering Arena request. I guess I'll also take that. So like for EDH request, just, you know, type in the name of the commander and maybe even a style you want. Like I said, be in a video. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. That way you don't miss another one of my videos or upcoming content. And also, while you're commenting, side note, even if you aren't the first, comment anyways, guys. I like feedback from you. Just make sure it's kind of positive. Don't be too harsh. I mean, I can take some stuff, but like, come on. But I know you guys, that's not necessary to say that. I can trust you guys because you guys have been really supportive up to this point, and I want to thank you for that. When we started out, we weren't all that much, but you guys helped me get through with your suggestions and stuff. So thank you to you guys, and keep doing that. And also share this video along with other videos found on my channel with other people. With that said, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.